everyone, welcome back to my channel So Little Time, and my name is Karen. So today's video is going to be a collaboration with Deb, who has a new YouTube channel and she is called Sewing Is My Thing. So if you've not heard of her before, I will link her down in the description box for you to check out, but please do go and give her a follow on her YouTube channel and subscribe. That would be lovely. I'm sure she would appreciate the support. So we're actually going to be doing a collaboration. We're coming together to make a pattern test as it stands at the moment. And the lovely Jayne from the Dressmakers Closet, which I'm sure you have heard of, she is bringing out her most latest pattern, which is the Nell dress and t-shirt. And there are quite a few variations in this pattern, so I'm really excited to get this pattern test sewn up. In actual fact, I have already started one, which I wasn't going to be doing. I was just supposed to be doing one of the options, but I'm actually doing two now, just because I love all of the options. I'll be doing all of them at some point. But I thought I would just show you the fabrics that I'm intending to use. Now, Jayne has been sharing on her Instagram some snippets of what the pattern actually looks like and the different options, so do go and have a look at that, but I'll insert photos as I go along. So I've got my lovely birthday flowers here. It's recently my birthday, so I turned the grand old age of 43. Yeah, we just got back off our holiday as well, so the last video you would have seen from me would have been my makes video from June, I think it was. Yeah, so if you haven't checked that out, I'll link up a card above for you. So I've got a nice tan going on. I've rectified those silly tan lines that I had, so that's really lovely. So for my pattern test, I have been selected to make the hip option. So I'm going to insert a photo here, so I'll kind of try and move over. So I just move my flowers. So you can see what the hip version looks like. I absolutely love it. There's a waist version as well, and there's a t-shirt one, and there's a full length dress, which is absolutely beautiful. So I'm doing the hip length, and I have decided to kind of colour block mine. Now this pattern is very fabric hungry, as I have found whilst cutting out sort of the pattern pieces itself. I haven't actually cut my fabric as yet because I've had to change my colour scheme around slightly to get all the pieces to fit on. So for my fabrics then, I have got 3 jersey fabrics here, a metre of each, which is 60-inch wide, and I got all of these from Felicity Fabrics. They aren't now available in their shop because I had these quite a while ago, but they do have gorgeous fabrics on their website, and please do use my 10% discount code, which I will put along the bottom of the screen for you. So the first fabric that I've got here is this lovely cotton jersey, which has got some butterflies and like floral meadowy kind of greenery on there. Really, really beautiful. So I'm going to be using that for the bodice and the sleeves. So that's the first fabric. The second fabric I've got is this lovely sort of sage green kind of colour. Would you say that's sage? I don't know. It's got little polka dots all over it. And I am going to use that for the first tier on the hip length frill. And I'm also going to use it around the neckband and on the cuffs. So that's my plan. Then I've got this lovely sort of white background with these little raindrop splodges on it, I would say. And I'm going to use that for the bottom tier on the hip length version. And I think I've only got enough fabric just to do that bottom tier on that version, because it is fabric hungry, like I said. So on the bottom tier, it does use up basically a metre of fabric just for that tier. So that's my plan. So that's my 3 sort of colourways. I think they go really well together. So I'm excited to see how that is going to turn out with those beautiful fabrics. So what I'm going to do now then is, for the rest of this video, just insert some footage of my finished garment, because I haven't actually made it at this moment in time. And then what I'll also do is insert some video footage from Deb herself, so just so she can share her version with you. But she will have uploaded a video all of her own as well, so I will link that in the description box below for you. So please do go and check that out and give her some support. And then also what I will do is put in the description box the link to the pattern as well, because it will be live at the time of this video going live. So I'm really excited for Jayne to release this pattern. She's been given lots of little sneak peeks of it on her Instagram, and I have seen her wearing her versions earlier this year, and they were absolutely beautiful. So I think a lot of people were, you know, encouraging her to get this pattern released out into the wild. So I'm really pleased that she has done that, and I think she's doing absolutely amazing with her business and bringing out patterns. And she also sells ready-to-wear dresses as well, which she makes to order. So I will link her website again in the description box. So everything I'll talk about today will basically be linked down below. So please do check that out. Give this video a like if you have enjoyed it, and please do consider subscribing if you have not done so already. That would be lovely. It's been lovely having you along on my sewing journey. So thank you ever so much for watching today, and I shall see you later. Bye. Right, as it's such a beautiful day, I thought I'd treat you to another part of the video outside, and just wanted to show you my gorgeous version of Jayne's new pattern, the Nell dress. So there are 4 different variations included in this pattern, so it's really generous with the options, and the size range is really good as well. However, if you do make this pattern, I would suggest sizing down because it is quite generous in the ease that's built into it, even though it is a jersey garment. It's just meant to be a bit more of a loose fitting style garment, and I absolutely love it. It has worked out really, really well. So in the initial part of this video, I did say that this pattern is quite fabric hungry, and it is. However, since doing the pattern testing process, Jayne realised that she'd made an error in how much she told us to cut the frills by. So initially I cut out, I think it was 2 frill sections on the fold for the top tier, and then for the bottom tier to cut out, she said 4 frill pieces on the fold, but in actual fact it wasn't supposed to be on the fold. So I think it was 2 pieces on the fold for the bottom tier, and then for the middle tier it was just cut 2 frills without it actually being, I can see a little person coming to visit us in a second. So yeah, I'm absolutely over the moon with my version. Now I have used Felicity Fabrics jersey for all of this top, and I'm really pleased with how it has turned out. It's really good quality jersey, I have to say. So it's got this lovely neckband here, and you get the neckband included in the pattern, so you don't have to calculate that at all. And it just, you know, goes in, I think, at about 1/4 inch seam allowance for that. It's got these lovely little poofy sleeves, which are just the right amount of poof, because it's obviously not got poof at the top, but just slightly at the bottom, with this lovely deep sort of band on the bottom, which is really nice. I haven't changed the width of that either, and that just fits just right. It's not too snug and not too loose. And then if I stand back, you'll see the 2 tiers that I've added. So I've used contrast for this middle section, and then you just gather that in. Now it's the first time I've ever gathered with jersey. Excuse the splodge, that's a little tear stain from my little boy who's just come crying up the garden. Yeah, so it's the first time I've gathered in jersey fabric, and it gathered really well. This is a cotton jersey, so it worked really well. And then the bottom tier here is just sort of double the amount of the top tier as such. So yeah, it is a really nice sort of A-line swirly twirly top, and this is the hip length version, so it sort of just comes, yeah, just below my hips. Actually my hips are here, so it's just below, and I've got it on with some denim jeans, just ready to wear denim jeans, and I've added a little label onto mine as well, so that just says "so comfy," I think it says, or "staying cozy" actually. Yeah, and I've just used these sort of 3 fabrics that sort of contrasted together really well. In the bottom of this fabric, if I bring it up close, you'll see it's got some lovely splodges in it, and so those colours matching really well with all of the colour scheme. And then I've twin needled the hem with some lovely yellow thread there, which is actually an old-fashioned thread. It was Silco thread, really, really nice. That really worked well. I was playing sort of chicken with the amount of thread I had left, and I won, so that was good. But yeah, really, really love how this has turned out. Look how twirly it is. It's really nice and girly. Yeah, so pleased with it. And it, you know, like I say, it's the first time that I'd ever gathered with jersey, and it worked really, really well. And I just took my time with the process, and I just enjoyed it, because there is quite a lot of gathering in this pattern, but if you just take your time and then pin all the way around sort of in good even spaces, then you'll have no problem at all. And then the back is just here, so there's a little seam line where the neckband is there. Just pan you down so you can see the back as well. So yeah, it's not too loose. I made the size 8, didn't make any changes to it whatsoever. Yes, so because initially I cut out quite a lot of frills following the instructions, obviously with the error that was included in the instructions initially, I've got quite a lot of frills left over, so I am going to be making the sort of waist version of this, which is just the one with the 1 tier, and then I have also made a dress version as well. So I used a scuba fabric for that, and I will put that in the video as well. So my lovely friend Deb, who is Sewing Is My Thing on YouTube, she is doing a collaboration with me for this video. So I'm going to be including a video all about her top. She's made the waist length one and it's absolutely beautiful. I love the polka dot fabric that she has used. So yeah, I'm going to insert hers in just a second, but I hope you really like this and you take the time out to check out the pattern that Jayne has released today. It's just such a wonderful pattern. You can, you know, play around with the frill detail really easily. You could, you know, make it shallower in depth. You could reduce the amount of width there is on it, you know, so you could make the frills not so wide, or you could add even more, so you could really make it very flouncy. And I think you could just continue adding tiers down to make a really voluminous style dress. Now the long dress version has just got sort of a longer tier and then one ruffle at the bottom. So it is a little bit more streamlined, but yeah, if you wanted a really flouncy one, you could add all the tiers all the way down, just keep, you know, going out in size. But yeah, I'm really pleased with this. I love the colour combination that I've used. I think it's really nice for the summer. It's not too hot either, this style of dress, because it's obviously very breezy. But yeah, I'll insert some photos of my version, which I took for Jayne for the pattern testing process, and I really enjoyed that. Actually, being part of the Facebook group was really nice to sort of have a chat with everybody else who was pattern testing at the same time and seeing their versions, and also, you know, just chatting with them with regards to the pattern testing process and picking up any errors along the way. So Jayne has done a marvelous job. She's, you know, doing this single-handedly by herself, and obviously if you've followed her for a while, you'll know that she has her husband at home who she cares for 24 hours a day. So she's done magnificently and her patterns are absolutely beautiful. So I'm really pleased that I was on the pattern testing team for this, so I hope to test many more patterns for her in the future. So I'm going to hand you over to Deb then, so you can see her lovely version and what she's got to say about how she thought of the pattern and making it up and that kind of thing. So I'll see you in a mo.
Hi, my name's Deborah and I have a channel called Sewing Is My Thing, and I just wanted to say thank you to Karen for doing this little collaboration with me from so little time, and also to Jayne from the Dressmakers Closet for such a fantastic pattern. Absolutely love it. I was asked to make the waist version. Okay, so this is absolutely lovely, and it's got this one frill at the bottom. Some of them, for the hip length one, have two frills on, which I know Karen's made that one, which is absolutely gorgeous. And then obviously the dress one. With this one, it was very easy. I've just made it with jersey. It comes together really quickly, lots of gathering, but I found that quite easy because I had a little trick where I just upped the foot pressure on my sewing machine and it does the gathering for you. So that was quite good. First time I've ever used it on jersey though, but I just had to tweak it a little bit, but not having to pull and pull and pull. It was just one row stitching and it was done. So that was a really great way of getting them and getting it all nicely even out. So that was that. Now the top, this bit, very easy to do, and finished off with a nice waistband. No, it's not. It's finished off with a nice neckband. And obviously then we've got a little bit of a puffy sleeve going on here, which is nice because it's usually puffy sleeves are all at the top. This isn't. It's a little bit puffy around here and a nice band. Now a lot of the makers have actually made the contrasting band and frill. I decided that I got this fabric, wanted to use it and loved it. I used not quite 1.5 meters, probably 1.25 meters to make this, and you know, did a bit of wiggling and jiggling about and it came out fine. And I had a little tiny piece left. If I wanted to use that, would probably make a great hair bobble. But apart from that, it's absolutely lovely. The only thing I'm a little bit disappointed about is nothing to do with the pattern. It's down to me. I started to use my sewing machine and I broke my twin needle. So I couldn't get hold of another one, and so I've had to zigzag around this area, and where I've used the black it looks fine, but obviously where it's gone over a big white dot here, I feel like that jumps up and shouts at me. But what can we do? Perhaps I should have used something completely contrasting like Karen did and done a bright red stitch or something, and it probably would have looked better. But fit, pattern, everything, I can't fault this pattern at all. I just can't fault it. I am wanting to make the hip version, and wanted to make the dress version, and wanted to make the t-shirt version, and look forward to doing that. I just want to say thank you to Jayne. You nailed it. You did it. You did it, and it's absolutely fantastic. So until the next time we meet, thank you very much, Karen, for having me on your channel, and everybody get over to the Dressmakers Closet. This is one. If you can sew, or even if you're just starting out sewing, this is the dress for you. Cheers.
It's really lovely, isn't it? So thank you, Deb, for taking the time to be part of my video and collabing with me. I've really enjoyed the process, and it's been lovely chatting with you throughout the pattern testing process as well. You know, we have been sort of messaging each other as time has gone by, just to talk about the fabric and the pattern itself and stuff like that, and talk about sizes and things. So I did size down, like I said, making the size 8. I think my body measurements would have put me in a size 10, but I decided to size down because I usually go on the smaller side for jersey style patterns, because obviously jersey stretches, and because this has got frills and it's, you know, got the A-line shape, I didn't want it to be too big, because my smallest area is my waist area, so I wanted to make sure that I didn't overcrowd it as such. Yeah, so it's just the right size for me, and I'll just pan you down once more so you can see again, yeah, that it just skims really nicely. You know, it's not too poofy, just the right amount, I'd say. I really love how it sort of goes like this, you know, really nice and girly. Really love it. So I'll add the photos in, and I'll also add my dress version in so you can see that, and I'll see you in a mo. Right, so here is my dress version, and I absolutely love how it's turned out. This fabric is a scuba fabric, which I had in my stash. I had quite a lot of it, so I thought, why not make the full length dress version? I'm so pleased with how it's turned out, and I have to say it wasn't actually that hard to sew this dress up in scuba, although the gathering took a little while. I just took my time with it and enjoyed the process, and it went absolutely fine. In actual fact, because it was stiffer to gather, the gather stayed in place, so when I sewed it, it was a lot easier. Again, it's got these beautiful puffy sleeves with the cuff, and I have just used some jersey fabric, which I had again in my stash for that, which I got from a D stash, and that's just a cotton jersey. In actual fact, it might have a bit of viscose content in it because it is actually quite lightweight in comparison to a cotton jersey, and I've done that for the neckband as well, and it's like a pink colour with these lovely little hearts on it, and then this scuba fabric is got like a lovely floral print all over it. The only thing with this fabric is that it's got a white background, so when you stretch it, it does go white. Can you see that? So luckily it's not really done that over my bust, thank goodness, because it is, like I say, quite loose fitting, this kind of style, so it's not really clingy. Again, I've made this in the straight size 8. I've kept the pockets in, although I have used the scuba fabric for the pocket inserts, and I think I may change that and take them out and perhaps use just jersey, or completely take them out altogether, because it just adds a little bit of bulk here. It's all right whilst I like stand and lay flat and, you know, stand still as such, but when I'm walking around, the pockets tend to move about, and then they bulk out slightly here, which I don't want to be adding any more sort of width onto my hip area. So I'm going to pan you down so you see the bottom of the dress. So this has got a frill on the very bottom. See if I can stand back here, and that's just cut 2 pieces of the frill section on the fold, which then creates this big voluminous frill at the bottom, and I absolutely love that. It's not right down to the floor. I'm just going to pan you down a little bit more so you can see. Yeah, it's not right down to the floor. It's sort of just above my, I don't know, just below my mid calf, actually, I would say. Yes, that's a different length of dress for me altogether, and I've just actually, if I can show you this without flashing, top stitched that down with my twin needle, and I just used a contrast thread in a very light pink because I didn't have anything to match the purple, so you can see the white background. And with this dress, I actually haven't finished any of the seams with my overlocker. I just thought I'll just do it straight on my sewing machine, and that's worked out absolutely fine. I've taken out the gathering stitches, and so it is just raw edges there. I could overlock that if I wanted to, but just to omit any extra bulk on this particular type of fabric, I decided just to leave as is. But yeah, absolutely love how this has turned out. It's a bit warm for today, but yeah, it's going to be lovely for wearing sort of in the autumn, and it's a lovely colour, don't you think, this fabric? It's something that I've not really got in my wardrobe. I really do quite like purple. I think it suits my skin tone. So yeah, over the moon with this version. Actually, I did make this one first before I actually made the top version, just because I was fluffing about with my colour scheme on my top version. So anyway, thank you ever so much for watching today. I hope you like the versions that I have shown you, and thank you very much to Deb for collaborating with me. I will put across the bottom of the screen the discount code that I've got to share with you for you to go ahead and get this pattern at a discounted rate, and that is just on this pattern alone. It's not on any other patterns on Jayne's website, so please do take advantage of that. You won't be disappointed with this pattern. There are some lovely variations in it, and I'm so pleased with all of them. I'm going to be making the top and the waist version. I didn't get a chance to make those as yet, but I definitely will be doing that because I do have those extra sort of frills that I cut out for my hip length version. So yeah, let me know what you think, guys, and I shall see you again soon. Take care. Bye.